Yeah, thank you. Good evening, everyone. So, Honorable Founder Chairman Dr. B.N. Ratha, Director Academics Dr. A.P. Mahabatra, Principal Dr. Dinda sir, the Vice President, Vice Principal B.K. Sauza, M.K. Ratha sir, Chatterjee, Dr. Chatterjee from Torrent Center, and my fellow colleagues and my students. So it's a really privileged, honored time today. Let me present my screen. Uh, just give me a second. Yeah, let me know if my screen is visible. Can somebody confirm?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay, thank you. So my topic is an introduction to pharmaceutical industry skills. So as we know, NPD, this National Pharmacy Week, is a highly moral driven platform where actually nationwide we acknowledge all the pharmacists across the India, not only in India, other parts of the world also, but in India we have some specific dates. So in this case, I just figured it out. Some facts and figures before sharing my presentation. I would like to share with all of you. So I was just getting how many pharmacists in India. I got a figure which is around 7 lakhs, and it's really somebody have a new number can share to us. But in a country of 135 crore people, and 7 lakhs is actually very small amount. We have a lot of avenue to improve our pharmacy profession. So that's why we are somewhere actually lagging because we are actually in a leader in pharmacy in our Vedic time, but unfortunately in 21st century we're actually get overlapped with a lot of things. So when I compare, actually I've been to certain countries and where I interacted, I found in other countries when we talk about pharmacy, they mainly focus on community pharmacy or a hospital pharmacy. They lack actually industry pharmacy. That's why we in India, we are more, our pharmacy people are very much educated, instrumental, so that at least we will have our community pharmacy, hospital pharmacy, clinical pharmacy, and industrial pharmacy is in such a proportion, good proportion. And nowadays, all the industry running across the globe, you can find at least one or two Indians working in R&D, production, QA, or some other supply chain. So that's actually a good, I can say, is a good thing that we can appreciate our education system, as rightly said, just my previous speaker, that we are actually instrumental in gathering knowledge. We are instrumental in gathering skill sets. So that's how the skill comes to a very good impact factor when we are actually portraying our capabilities to the whole world. So this pandemic situation, when we are actually dealing with this COVID. So our prime ministers and other industrialists, they come forward and provide the whole COVID mitigating plan to the whole world. Nowadays, we can see from the internet, most of the vaccines actually getting manufactured for future from India itself. So these are some of the things engineered in past. Now we are getting some results. So this is a good platform where actually we need to strengthen our skill sets. So when we are talking about pharmaceutical industry skill sets, I have two things to present here today. One is general skills, what is the corporate world talk about, and what are the specific pharmaceutical industry skills. So let's talk about what is a skill. So when we talk about skills, it comes mostly people comes to mind that it is learning, advanced learning, competitive skills. sometimes ability, analogical skills. So these skills actually spread all across the things. But when it comes to a kind of utilizing the skill to get a affordable medicine or a affordable product, it comes majorly two types of skills. One is a hard skill, one is a soft skills. So from a research, I found that mostly 77 percentage companies say soft skills are just an important factor as a hard skills, but only 16% focus on hard skills. Yeah. So most importantly, if you ask a hiring manager, you ask a industrial pharmacist person, he will talk about definitely you improve your soft skills to get hired by someone. So what is that soft skill about? So mostly if you go to internet and find what is the most important soft skill at today's scenario to get yourself in the first line, so that is a creativity. So you must be creative. So that creativity comes with a lot of different domains. So like here, I just spell it out some of them. You must have a clear communication. Whatever you are sharing to somebody, it should be very clear, concise. When somebody is sharing something to you, it should be a good active listening should be there. You must listen actively. Next, you must have a assertive skills. You must have a uh, um, positive attitude towards any type of work. So let's say, for example, you are given a something, a adverse scenario, you had faced some difficulties developing a product. You are challenging with some kind of test. You cannot develop this. You are facing difficulties in analysis. Your difficulties in mitigating a disease with a medicine. So any scenario it can be. You must have a positive attitude. So when it comes to relationship within your organizations, within your cross-functional teams, within your peers. So it is the most important skill is the empathy. So these are very, very creative skills. You need to focus on yourself now. As you are in academics, you need to focus on these areas. Then which one is actually the most important way to understand the skills are how to organize it. So let's say I give a simple solution: 7, 38, 55. So this is actually very famous in the industry. Like somebody will ask you, which one is the best important thing in your skill? That is the body language. So it actually talks about a lot of things. When you are actually sitting in front of people, you are talking to them. So your body language talks more than you speak. How confident you are. It more sometimes it leaks, body language leaks informations. So in that case, so you must have a clear, concise information where actually you need to uh, focus on. 38% focus on voice, what actually tone you are talking, how sometimes people talk about very monotonous, and a lot of people have very high pitch speech, high energy. So in that case, you need to work on a complete variations in your tone so that at least it will be very smooth to a person who is actually listening to you. And 7% is really choice of words. What type of words you select? People can read your words between your lines, and these are very important. Like when you're talking about something about you're talking about anything else. So which type of word you select, that actually talks about your profile, your behavior. So work on that. So it will give a lot of impacts. And so let's talk about some of the assorted skills. This is the most perfectly blended word I can tell. So assortive skills is the best skill ever to understand and improve your skill set. So in your assortive, you always have four types of skills. You may be manipulative, you may be aggressive, you may be submissive, or assertive. Assertive is the best skill ever, and all employees should maintain a assorted skills. What exactly is assorted? Is a you must make a good choice. You must be confident. When you are talking about confidence, you must have a clear, concise vocabularies. You must have a subject which actually composed nicely when you are delivering to someone. So, and how you are behaving in front of the people. So that is actually your one of the skill set. Next is the tone. What tone you are talking? So it must be a people can understand, people can able to listen clearly, and also they should understand what exactly you are trying to say or deliver to them. So this all composed to one of the skill is called your assertive skill. Yeah. So next, when you are saying anything, somebody asks you, yeah, can you do this? A lot of people understand, yes, you can do. Always you say yes, yes. But it is actually sometimes no is very important. People those say no, they must be accounted for saying yes and no. But those that are saying yes, most of the time they don't account for that. So that assertiveness of saying no, a lot of time makes a lot of impact to the person next judging to you. So, because I understand there is a perfect diversity of audience here. There are people who are actually burning themselves in this organization, and they can be somewhere in QC, R&D, they can be in regulatory, they can be in patent landscaping organizations, and there can be a number of possibilities, not only in industry, also in hospital industry or community pharmacists. They can focus to anywhere. When it talks to a skill set required for a pharmaceutical industry, these are the few very finite number of skills you must have to focus on, and this is already in your curriculum. It is scattered somewhere else. It is scattered sometimes in civics, sometimes in cognition, sometimes in ecology. So it is sometimes in your organization behavior. Sometimes it is during your activities. It's all over. So you need to dot those skill sets and make a good step in your CV, so that at least people can understand how your impact to a particular job function. So let's talk about some documentation skills. So you need to understand about principles, you need to understand about guidance, like Dr. Dinda was explaining about Drug Cosmetic Act, GMP Act. You can understand those. Even also, I'm actually highlighting here, say ICH, Q9, Q10. These are very handy guidance for your industry. You can also have the ability to interpret something from data. So if you have any data, you must try to interpret with statistics. You can use some inference out of it, some graphical interpretation you can make. So these are also a kind of skills required. Most importantly, when you are talking about patents, so you must know what is a patent, how to read a patent, and also what are the minimum basic understanding about patents. A lot of people ask these questions during interviews. And if you are going for a kind of a production job or anything, they talk about different techniques. So are we familiar with granulation, compression, coating? What are the problems behind that? How to mitigate that problems? If it is for a QC role or an analytical role, they will ask about different techniques like HPLC, UV, FTR. And if it is kind of a some kind of regulatory function or a kind of QA function, they definitely ask about guidances from different agencies. So this is actually a perfect blend where actually all skill sets are required. People have this type of skill sets, but they don't impact to it. So what I'm trying to say here is you know everything. Only thing you have to just sharpen your saw before going to any type of functional interviews or any kind of your resume to the next level. So when you are talking about overseas uh, career in pharmacy, so there are a lot of impact is there. So you can choose your career to be in India or in the other part of the world. So it is very easy. Why I'm saying, I'll give you my example. So for a formulation, I'm a formulation scientist. I have been got different opportunities, but I selected in overseas countries for a time period. Then I come back here because of this pandemic, and there are a lot of opportunities around. People are moving ahead and grabbing the opportunities. Only thing is, you need to prepare yourself. You have to improve your skill sets to that benchmarking. And I gone through your college profile. It's really amazing. College, um, good faculty members, a lot of people, and it's really a good infrastructure. And the guidance was actually providing from your principal, from your vice principals and director. They are actually very good. So you need to focus on your skill sets, fundamentals, how to understand the things, how to interpret, communication skills. So that will improve your abilities to interact to, to the whole world. Industry is just a part of this whole system, whole ecosystem, and you can also choose your career in hospital, community, clinical, and many more. So thank you for your attention.